the American people genuinely do want a calming of tensions. I think that Republican leaderships want, the Republican leadership, you know, their pundits, their politicians, want to kill you and stuff you in a ditch. But I think the average voter, Republican or Democrat, genuinely does want tensions to be lowered. The average Republican is, as we've discussed before, kind of dumb. Studies backing that up. I think somebody who radiates positivity like Kamala Harris does, I don't know. I feel like that's actually a solid bid for a lot of people, especially, keep in mind, especially moderate voters. On Truth Social, crooked Joe Biden's the worst president by far in the history of our nation. He's done everything. We saw that one during the last stream. Right, okay. Crooked Joe just got knocked out, so now I'll have to do it a fourth time. Does anyone really believe that Crooked Joe had COVID? No, he wanted to get out ever since June 27th, the night of the debate, where he was completely obliterated. That was the big moment in Joe Biden's demise. That was the point in time when Joe was revealed for what he was, an incompetent man who should have never been president. Joe Biden is not fit to serve. He's destroying our country. My debate with crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, was slated to be broadcast on fake news ABC, the home of George Slopadopoulous, sometime in September. Now that Joe has, not surprisingly, quit the race, I think the debate, and whomever the radical left Democrats choose, should be held on Fox News rather than the very biased ABC. Thank you, DJT. So, we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden. He polls badly after having a terrible debate and quits the race. Now we have to start all over again. Oh, interesting. A weirdly straightforward admission of weakness. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud and that everyone around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president? Just asking. Why would he admit this? It's not over. Tomorrow, crooked Joe Biden's going to wake up and forget that he dropped out of the race today. That might be true. Biden never had COVID. He's a threat to democracy. Are we actually unironically doing COVID trutherism? Did they really not think he was going to drop out? I genuinely think the Republican establishment did not expect Joe to drop out, and now that he has, they're like freaking out. Have you guys seen some of the conservative accounts on Twitter being like, this is the woman they're putting forward as president? And it's like, it's just like her chilling, you know? Like she's just laughing. Like Joe Biden, Donald Trump's line is laughing Kamala. There's a lot of misogyny as well. Well, I mean, yeah. Give it to me straight. How long will it take to blow 51% of America? Guys, I've got an even better one that will do an even better job appealing to the conservative demographic, okay? Give it to me straight. How long will it take to hot tour, spit on that thing, 51% of America? There we go, zinger. Pack that one up, put it in a little box, and ship it out to the American people, because that right there, that's a red sweep in the election. There we go, fellas. Unmod me. Oh my God. Yeah, the Republican response right now genuinely seems to be, what if we just showed clips of her being like wacky?
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Spit that shit, Queen! Did she lie? Where did she stutter exactly? RNC research. Yeah, apparently she's talking to like some blind people. I don't want it. It's whatever. I saw this.
People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden.
Mad.
Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary.
Mad.
We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let...
When people forget what a primary process is, the candidate is not selected until the convention. That is how it works. You just had your own convention. You know how that works.
Donor?
They unironically, like, remember how I said, I mean, I'm not the only one who said this, but remember how I said, like, they genuinely don't know how to run against Kamala Harris? They don't. They've literally spent 5 years building a propaganda campaign against Joe Biden specifically. How often do you hear negative stuff about Kamala? You don't really. I mean, obviously they're going to be negative about her, but you don't have like an extremely well-established media apparatus, you know, like, or sorry, like a framework from which to attack her. It's crazy. Heritage Foundation prepared to sue over this. They have nothing. They have nothing. They have nothing. I don't believe they have any legitimate claim here. The states, like the Democratic Party, is a party that's okay. The legal presumption is that Kamala Harris has missed the ballot deadline in some of these states. If that's the case, why would the Democratic Convention be after the ballot deadline in any states? Then there would be a possibility that the democratically selected candidate from within the Democrats wouldn't be a valid, you know, to run in any of those states. Ridiculous. They have nothing. They're desperate. They're desperate.
About this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Grab him by the...
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together.
Anyone else feeling a 50-state sweep? I think 50-state sweep. Dude, they would never call him a sex predator, even though he's the most obvious sex predator in the world. He's the most sex predator.
Together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
Incredible. Kamala gonna lock him up, throw him in the back. Apparently one of the Democrats' top lawyers already has this planned and is very confident. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I really don't think the front-runners in the DNC would be pushing for Joe Biden to drop out if they thought they were vulnerable to a Heritage Foundation lawsuit the moment they drop, you know?
Handpicked.
I love hearing this piece of shit Nazi whine.
They held a primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary. We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let donors handpick a new nominee. They held a primary.
Dude, they are so obvious. Did we do the debate too early? We wanted Joe to stay in the race. Like, I think I kind of underestimated the extent to which Republicans would make it obvious how upset they are that Joe Biden dropped out, you know? They really, really thought they could win against him. Yeah, like, the main problem with Kamala Harris as an opponent to Donald Trump, in addition to the fact that she's significantly more charismatic than Biden is capable of being, is that they don't really have anything on her. They can't easily transpose the perceived policy failures of Joe Biden's administration onto her, at least not in the amount of time that they have, you know? They want this woman to be president. And what is it?
Poor hubby. Poor hubby.
Not This is it. This is the best they have in her. This is the best they have in her, legitimately.
He knows how to sell right there. Okay.
Her laugh isn't even weird. No, she doesn't have a weird laugh. She just laughs often, and she just has like a huge open mouth laugh. You know, she's got, like I said, it's a lot of whimsy. It's a lot of whimsy. I think that whimsy is the key to victory here, because Donald Trump has a fragile ego, and Donald Trump recoils when challenged, like all fragile ego megalomaniac narcissists. Whenever he's challenged, he doesn't respond to it by playing it off and laughing. He like shrivels up because he's not used to being talked to that way.
Yeah, exactly. So,
She's still got a sense of humor.
It's crazy. The mirth.
And I think in New Hampshire, you're not.
I genuinely believe it might be a little racist, like a woman in color with a loud and boisterous laugh is considered. The Republicans racist and sexist? Tell me it ain't true. Tell me it ain't so. Maybe just a little bit. You couldn't write a better finale to the last 8 years than a demented president resigning and handing over candidacy to someone who was picked because she had a vagina of color. Not, oh, dude, this is so soy. I don't care if you're offended. Objectively, vagina of color is a sublime bit of writing. Me in the 8th grade, like coming up with fire bars that I might hypothetically insult the Stacy who was mean to me in 3rd period with. Me in the shower thinking of like bangers. Kamala's VP options. True. Republicans can't even run any of the attack ads they have now. No, they really can't. Oh, hello. A lot of whimsy in this one.
Okay. So, joining us now from New York.
Genuinely, I just want you to wonder, like, where the Republicans must be for this to be what Libs of TikTok posts right after Joe Biden drops out. Like, where they are at in this moment. How does this even make her look bad? It doesn't. That's the point. They don't have anything on her. Kamala's menu of potential VPs. Light, crisp, dry whites. Light to medium bodied off dry whites. And rich whites. I understand the hype, but this can cause a pretty big issue in some states. Ohio Democrats are going to do a virtual call to nominate Biden before the convention because Ohio requires the nominee to be assigned before the second convention date this year. Now they don't think they can. No. This is the Heritage Foundation lawsuit thing. I wouldn't worry about it. Seriously, I wouldn't worry about it. That's wrong, Vosh. Ohio undid that rule already. It's always Ohio, huh? She could still pick Stacey Abrams or Raphael Warnock. No, she couldn't. You insane? No, she won't. Guys, that's Mark Kelly. I don't want it to be Mark Kelly, okay? So I'm not listening to you. Did you see the incredibly pathetic take from Aaron Sorkin? Yeah, I saw this. How I would script this moment for Biden and the Democrats. The Democratic Party should pick a Republican. And at their convention next month, the Democrats should nominate Mitt Romney. Fantastic. Sorkin already withdrew his comments and apologized. I don't care. For some things, there is no undoing the harm that you've done. I mean, it still would be better than Trump. You know, just because we're locked into a lesser of two evils cycle doesn't mean you have to make the less evil option more evil than they have to be, right? Like, the goal here isn't to replace, like, you know, it's like our candidate with somebody one micro better than Donald Trump. The goal is to, like, win the election and hopefully do as good as we can, you know? He can apologize all he wants. He's still Aaron Sorkin. He's not beating the Aaron Sorkin allegations, is the thing. Honestly, that live stream from AOC that we saw after the RNC, really, really embarrassing. Obviously, she's going to stand behind. It seems she's fully committed to Kamala Harris being the the next person up. But I still think that was pretty embarrassing. Age like milk? I don't know why she had to do that. Do you have any guesses who's Harris's VP will be? I mean, many people have guesses. Soda water, the stream's only been going for about 15 minutes, so yes. I saw a bunch of conservatives using her stream clips to discount Dems. She really f***ed up with that stream. Yeah, I said it was dumb. Ted Cruz endorsed Ilhan Omar. AOC was probably just having a millennial panic. Many such cases, I would say. I don't get the joke. I'm assuming the joke from Ted Cruz is that Ilhan Omar is a black woman, so it would be like a joke for her to be the front runner. I genuinely think that's the joke. They're like, you know, it would be hilarious. A black Muslim woman. Here is the exact timing and impact of Biden's announcement on Act Blue donations today. Small dollar donations, no less. No kidding. Cumulative donations, 53 million in one day, just from small dollar donations. What's the likelihood this was all planned by the DNC? No. That's all I need to read. No. Lesson number 1 of materialist analysis, okay? Nobody actually knows what's going on. There's no, like, master plan. Nobody has a master plan. It doesn't exist. No one has ever had a master plan. Master plans are fake. They don't exist. They're not real. Things just happen. I want to see what the talking heads are saying about this, because I'm very interested, I guess, in, like, the mainstream perception.
President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. In a stunning letter that was just released moments ago by his campaign on X, formerly known as Twitter, Biden wrote, quote, that it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president.
Yeah,
and
we are. Yeah, we read.
Biden in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Priscilla, what are you learning?
Alex, this is a remarkable development, and it comes after a morning in which we heard more calls for the president to step down from members of his party, including, for example, Senator Joe Manchin. Now, the president in this letter released only...
Yeah, that's the first motherfucker I want to hear from ever in any circumstance. Yeah, that's what, anytime anything happens, my first thought is, I wonder what Joe Manchin, that wise, you know, noble political leader, has to say about this.
Moments ago, walks through his accomplishments as president. And also, if I can read you this part, it says, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. He goes on to say, while it has been my intention to seek work. Now, of course, Alex, this comes after that disastrous debate performance by the president in late June. It was after that that stoked so much anxiety and panic within the Democratic Party and led to a wave of calls over recent weeks for the president to step aside, to withdraw from this race. And this was something that, despite the president getting back on the campaign trail, despite private conversations with multiple lawmakers, and despite a campaign that up until this point had maintained, even just yesterday, that he was in this race, it appears that we hit that breaking point. Now, of course, the president has been at his residence here in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. He has been self-isolating because he was diagnosed with COVID earlier in the week. It was that diagnosis that pulled him off of the campaign trail at a pivotal moment.
Which Donald Trump apparently thinks was fake. Spare me the soaring accolades from people with their fingerprints on the blades in our president's back. John Fetterman to me in the rush from Democrats to say how accomplished a President Joe Biden has been minutes after pushing him out. Why would you fake this? Fetterman can't talk that good. What are you talking about? He can't talk like that.
He was in Nevada. He was shoring up support with Black and Latino voters. And it was before one of his last events that he got that positive COVID diagnosis and had to be blitzed back here to the East Coast, to Delaware, where he has since been self-isolating. It has been during that time that he's also been deliberating. He is with his closest advisors and his inner circle in what has been a challenging and at times frustrating time for this campaign. Now, we should also note, Alex, that earlier today on the airwaves, the president's allies were saying that he was in it to win it. Again, this was the resounding
because, of course, obviously, like, he would never admit to an intention to depart until he was finally ready to. Anyway, CNN sucks as usual.
ABC's editorial producer John Santucci. John, on the other end of this, you have former President Donald Trump's campaign. The former president is just after surviving this attempted assassination on his been back out on the campaign trail. And the Trump campaign has been notably a little bit more quiet on President Biden following this debate, a sign that maybe they really wanted to see him stay on the ballot in November. What more are we learning from the Trump campaign about how they're responding to this and also how they're preparing to now face off against Vice President Kamala Harris?
Rachel, literally, as you were just introducing me, we just got a statement from former President Donald Trump. I'm going to read the entire thing, Rachel. It's posted to his Truth Social account. It was our team.
Oh, okay, we already saw that. Holy shit, even Elon Musk was boosting that awful I am at the table wearing a blue suit bit. Elon, by the way, is like unabashedly partisan now. You probably already all know that. I'm not entirely sure like what motivated him specifically in the past few weeks to go from liking and retweeting and responding to neo-Nazis 50,000 times a day to him saying like, I am now committing resources to helping Donald Trump get reelected. But even he's committing to this, you know? Elon posted through a lot of anger today. He was literally like mass tweeting Vance Trump LFG in reply to people. Like he was losing his mind, man. We love our straightforward, unabashed corporate corruption.
Our smart people, and so are other. We have to make life good for our smart people. You know, we have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people, and he's as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. And so are other.
We have to make life good for the people who give us $45 million a month. I love politics now. Elon Musk was JQ posting. Man. I just like to thank Soros for not keeping everyone in suspense about who the next puppet will be. Elon is literally like non-stop posting right now. 5 minutes ago. Can somebody please tell me, like, if you're an Elon fan, how do you reconcile Elon Musk being a busy guy with him tweeting non-stop all the time with no breaks at all? The Simpsons are scary sometimes. A lady and grown-up Lisa Simpson. Wow. Yeah, that's about right. Seriously, this is the new nominee?
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
Unironically, a better foreign policy geopolitical assessment than you would get from basically anyone on the right or the left. You can go into like online Marxist-Leninist circles, you can go into fascist circles, they're going to give you a worse breakdown of the dynamic than this bit right here. They have nothing, dude. Nothing! She's great at speaking to the 54 IQ median voter. I hope so, because that's what we're fighting for right now. Fascist RNC Trump ad. Isn't that redundant? I'm with her and that's not even a joke. Yeah, I kind of touched on this in the stream earlier today and I want to reiterate it because I want to be really clear. We're kind of through the looking glass here, you know what I mean? We're kind of on a razor's edge. What do you have to say about your previous videos in Kamala? Well, I haven't watched them myself, but whatever I said, I agree with it completely. I don't like Kamala Harris, but you know what? History does not call us to like Kamala Harris. Okay? History does not ask of us our liking her. It asks of us our allegiance to the coconut pill. You know? How hard are you committing to the bit? We're on a razor's edge here, people, okay? I don't think this is an environment where we can afford to be second-guessing ourselves or acting hesitantly, you know? You know, yeah, that's right. I didn't like her before. But I have to unburden myself from all that has been in order to move forward. We need to be unburdened. Am I happy about this? In a vacuum, no. In the context of Joe Biden dropping out and giving us a chance against Donald Trump, yeah, I am actually kind of happy. It's a little bit like if you got two options, you know, and you think, oh, I'll just take option A, and then option A turns out to be horrifically painful. So you switch and you're like, oh, no, option B, and you go over there. And even though option B sucks relative to your state of being before, compared to what option A was like, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of relaxing. You know what I mean? Like you can test this in the bedroom, you know? Someone can be like jabbing you with a toothpick in your thigh and it's like, oh, that hurts. And they're like, okay. And they hit you in the dick and balls with a big hammer. And you're like, please go back to the toothpick. And then when they get back to the toothpick, honestly, you don't even feel it at that point. After that, you don't even feel the toothpick, really. Right now, I don't feel the coconut hitting me in the head. You know, it's a heavy... Coconuts are heavy, folks. They're heavy, they're hard. Can give you a concussion, but I don't even feel it right now compared to the existential dread of Joe Biden sleepwalking the entire Democratic Party into a loss against Donald Trump. So what I'm saying is we need to be decisive here, you know? Let's think of the positives. Kamala Harris has a pretty left-wing voting record, one of the most left-wing in the Senate, as a matter of fact. Not quite up there with Bernie, but not far behind either. What was she, the third or fourth most progressive senator during her time? Really? Yes. She was a cop? Sure. But we're up against a felon. I'm just saying, you know, you mix, you match. All right, okay. Life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. All right, okay. You know, her dad was a Marxist. Her dad was based, you know, kind of interesting. She was the most liberal in her Senate last term. I remember this article. I remember going over it on stream. Actually? Yeah, why do you keep asking? Actually, if I say it, it's true. Why does no one ever talk about how left-leaning she is? A, cop. B, she hasn't really done anything as VP. She hates her dad, though, but I get your point. All good Marxists hate their parents. Maybe Kamala's a sleeper cell. You have no idea. Biding her time before she becomes the president. If you were a Marxist, which you better be if you watch me, and you want to become the president, what are you going to do? Blow your load early? You're a mayor of some bum nowhere town in flyover country, and you're like, no longer will the proletariat suffer the indignity of bourgeois control. And then you get voted out next election? No. You bide your time. You play the game. And you wait. And then once you're the president, kablamo. Housing decommodified. All student debts erased. I'm telling you, folks! Now, what are the chances that Kamala Harris is actually Marx's strongest soldier? 65%, maybe? Maybe not. Who knows? We need to be decisive. Look, it's 50-50. Either she is or she isn't. 20%, I think you're too... No, I think you're too... down on it, you know, maybe 60%. And she's got some riz. If we're going purely off memeability, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about Kamala. Yeah. Kamala Harris has the whimsy and the charm that I think will pair very well against Donald Trump. I also think that the American people genuinely do want a calming of tensions. I think that Republican leaderships want, the Republican leadership, you know, their pundits, their politicians, want to kill you and stuff you in a ditch. But I think the average voter, Republican or Democrat, genuinely does want tensions to be lowered. The average Republican is, as we've discussed before, kind of dumb, you know, studies backing that up. To me, I think somebody who radiates positivity like Kamala Harris does, I don't know. I feel like that's actually a solid bid for a lot of people, especially, keep in mind, especially moderate voters or disenfranchised voters, people who want something new, people who want something fresh, you know? She is fresh. I mean, certainly compared to the Joe Biden versus Donald Trump dynamic, where it seems people were relatively unengaged on both ends of the aisle. But yeah, we need whimsy. I'm late to the stream, but pog if it's true. No kidding. Nikki Haley voters pack announces support for Kamala Harris. No kidding. Remember how Nikki Haley did surprisingly well versus Donald Trump in their primary? Obviously, she never came close to beating him, but a few times people were substantially motivated to run out to her. I don't know how significant this is going to be. Oh, wait, hold on. The Political Action Committee, previously known as Haley Voters for Biden. This was already a defecting pack. Okay. Not as big of a deal then. It is possible, though, that it being Kamala over Biden would pull more of those disenfranchised potential never-Trumpers. I'd have to think. I don't know. I wonder how statistically significant this group would be. This group specifically? Not significant. But there are broader trends at work here. The fact that Kamala Harris is a woman, when women are getting increasingly engaged due to Roe v. Wade being overturned. The fact that Kamala Harris is a woman of color energizes some groups. Do keep in mind that for all the racism in this country, Obama, at least in 2008, was able to energize a portion of the electorate who are not normally mobilized, you know? Twitter is blocking people from following the Kamala HQ Twitter account. Dude, what? Limit reach, you're unable to... Wait, let me try that. Elon Musk is unironically blocking people from following this account. That's crazy. I mean, considering the fact that Elon has already, like, pledged money to Donald Trump, is having emotes in that preferentially treat Donald Trump is replying to far-right accounts nonstop. Can this get him arrested? Not arrested, but this, I'm pretty sure, is an objective violation of some laws. This is an actual unprecedented power, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is hilarious how the right wing all throughout like 2018, or sorry, not like 2018, 2019 onward, were screaming about social media companies having unprecedented power to use their bias and influence. And their proof of that bias was that Biden ended up contacting the White House, or sorry, the Twitter from the White House, which Trump also did. And then Elon takes over and is the most partisan guy ever. It just let me follow. This does not happen to me for literally any other account. Is it working now? It's still not working for me. Yeah, it's definitely being throttled. Refresh, it could be a bug. Let's not be naive. If anything on Twitter ever happens that seems like it works in favor of the right, just assume Elon did it deliberately. Why wouldn't you? Like, why not, right? He's an obviously partisan, like, lunatic, corrupt billionaire. Why would you, like, it's incredibly straightforward. Yeah, Occam's razor, honestly. Kamala HQ is losing followers in real time. Yeah, I don't think that's a bug. Oh wow, I literally just saw it tick down some more followers and I still can't follow it. Yeah. As this continues, Twitter more and more is going to be like we were worried about the potential of Elon Musk using his power as the guy who privately owns Twitter to influence the results of the election before. I don't know if I expected him to be this open about it, but that's what I get for ever having, like, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Of course, the problem is this, in terms of like direct accountability, it's the kind of thing that takes an investigation, and it's almost impossible to like know for sure what's going on in the back end. I don't really know. The only people who work at Twitter these days are like foreigners on H-1B visas whose stay in the United States is conditional upon them being employees of Twitter, right? A ton of people left Twitter, you know? So anyone who could get another job already has. It's probably not against the law even if they are doing it. No, I'm pretty sure that's not true. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's not true. There actually are laws against the preferential selection of or censoring information when it comes to, like, you know, political speech and election running. There is something there. I remember it. Republican congressman admits they think Trump is in danger to Kamala. You don't say.
It is, I think, going to be more difficult to beat somebody who's not Joe Biden.
Okay. Anything else about this decision that you wanted to say?
No, I think it's going to be a difficult race. I think people can say you're going to be picking an unknown for vice president, but to be honest, as soon as you're nominated for a national office like that, you become known in the first week.
Is there anyone that you see challenging Harris that could potentially overpower, like that you think more people could get behind?
I know there are some Democrats who don't like her, and she has the obvious weakness at the border, as well as she hasn't been the most articulate candidate so far. But apparently they feel, or a lot of Democrats feel, they have to stick with her because of her ethnic background. And so I'm sure there's some division there on that issue. It is, I think, going to be more difficult to beat.
Your charitability is unwarranted, 2D Siggy. There's no reason to be charitable in this circumstance. Trump raises an excellent point. His campaign was forced to waste money against Biden for as long as it did, only for the Democrats to pull the rug out from under him by pulling Joe out of the race. This is, if anything, a form of cheating. Is anything not cheating to these guys? Just curious. Obama endorsed an open Democratic primary process at the convention next month, less than an hour after the Clintons endorsed VP Kamala Harris for president. Those things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Try the Twitter again. Why? I don't care. Why are people giving me updates on the Twitter? I don't care. Getting like a rolling total on like, hey, try it now. Like, why? The point was made. It's working now? Okay. Could the Dems do an open VP process? No. VPs aren't selected at the convention. Well, I mean, they're selected for the party, but the president chooses the VP or the president-to-be. They can do that? Wait, I'm sorry. Them, like, just choosing a random VP, not being chosen by the prospective president? Open VP is a thing? Is it? Wait, when was the last time that was done? Why am I not worked for FDR? Truman? Okay, I don't care then. Are you kidding me? It happened 50 years ago. It hasn't been a thing in decades. Okay, I don't care then. Biden resignees are more hopeful about Harris's Israel policy. Kamala Harris will not be worse on Israel. She might be better. That's the best we can do, okay? I want to know if you think it's bad or good for them to run an open convention. The open convention, I don't feel is a great idea. Maybe they feel like they need it in order to, promote stability, I guess. Damn, hold the line. We got this. Breaking, California Governor Gavin Newsom endorses support for Kamala Harris, Democratic. Well, their vote blue no matter who, guys, I guess. The Win with Black Women Zoom call in support of Kamala Harris tonight has more than 25,000 black women on it right now, organizers say. Huh. That is a lot of people. Senior Biden aides were bracing for Nancy Pelosi, who'd worked behind the scenes to encourage others in the party toward the kind of collective action that might finally push the president to end his campaign, to go public this week and possibly even disclose Democratic polling clarifying Biden's dire political straits. Nancy made it clear they could either do this the easy way or the hard way. God damn! This is some like union boss level dirty backroom politics that frankly I respect. Nancy Pelosi, savior of democracy. Thank you. Do we need to apologize to Pelosi? No. Black woman for president is going to mobilize a lot of activists. Going to mobilize a lot of activists. It also, I think, significantly increases the likelihood of getting Georgia. I think we might get Blorgia all over again, folks. If Biden was able to get Georgia in 2020, the cultural pull of Atlanta will spread out like a tidal wave, you know? Black women from Atlanta are going to be getting up at 6:15 a.m. and driving like 42 miles out into the burbs to go knock doors for the 6th time that week. I'm quite glad to think that canvassers and staffers will be more motivated and energized. That's because of the energy! Liberals forget this, man. All they know is like polling, money. You have no idea. At the end of the day, political will is built on like the mandate of the masses, and you get that mandate by being energetic. You need energy. Nobody's motivated to action by reassurances that the octogenarian that you have gunning for a second term is a very competent leader who had good policies. You need energy. Trump is now officially the oldest presidential nominee in history since he's older than Biden was back in 2020. Yeah, I don't know, folks. Trump's looking a little bit senile. A little senile to me, personally. I don't know about you guys. I think, I don't know. I think the American people want some young blood. Old. Can barely string a sentence together, you know? It's a vulnerability that he didn't have before because Joe Biden was older and acted older, but now... Do you think Kamala will do a debate with Trump? She better. Senile and the sniper really f***ing up? Yeah. I can't believe we have hope again. A few states have already committed their delegates to Kamala. No kidding. Coming out fast, huh? These states have already pledged their delegates. Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Texas. The Clintons also endorsed her. Obviously, they're not running for the presidency, but a Clinton endorsement is not meaningless. Isn't that a bit premature? Whatever they want. Is this a bit? Kamala Harris is not eligible to run for president. Neither of her parents were natural-born American citizens when she was born. She was born in Oakland. She's a U.S. citizen by birth and is eligible. Can you not read? Me when the most American-loving Americans with the American flag and the American profile pic don't know what birthright citizenship is. Her parents' place of birth is irrelevant? Yeah. It's birthright citizenship. If you're born on American soil, you're an American citizen. That's it. Can you not read? Union endorsement? Oh, nice. Coming out fast. Thoughts on Project Liberal? Fascists. Kamala hints at open convention. If there is an open convention, she will sweep it. United Farm Workers endorsed her as well. I guess everyone's hoping she'll be as good for unions as Joe Biden was. God damn. The UFW is proud to endorse VP Kamala Harris for president. Dime con quien andas y te digo quien eres. Kamala Harris stood with farm workers as CA's Attorney General and with U.S. Senator and as Vice President. There is work to be done and we're ready. Si se puede. Go! I bet the Teamsters are feeling pretty stupid right now. Well, they were already having their own little civil war over this, so, you know, not exactly new there. Anyway, if there is an open convention, Kamala Harris is almost certainly going to sweep it. She's literally entering the she's literally entering an open convention as the sitting VP with the endorsement of the current president, incumbent, and previous frontrunner, and a bunch of other endorsements. Pelosi thinks Kamala will lose. Well, as we've established, Pelosi's an idiot and also racist. As of 9 p.m. ET, and this is a while ago too, this is 2 hours ago, grassroots supporters have raised $47 million through Act Blue following Kamala Harris's campaign launch. This has been the biggest fundraising day of the 2024 cycle. What did I tell you about energy, man? What did I tell you? The great coconutting has only begun. DSA already saying they won't support the next person up. Who the f cares who DSA supports for a presidential? What presidential candidate could the DSA ever approve of, you know? What are you talking about? Also, what a like folding your arms bitch statement to make before anything else. Like, just so you know, we hate everyone. Thanks, DSA. That's very helpful. Really? You think that every sitting politician is corrupt and bourgeois and in line with corporate interests? That's crazy, DSA. You're so helpful. You guys don't like the DSA. The DSA certainly doesn't like us. What is the DSA? Dick suckers of America, and boy, are they good at it. Trump and Ivanka both donated to Kamala Harris for her California Attorney General run. That's nice. In all likelihood, the reason why Pelosi doesn't want Kamala Harris to be the front runner, because it's almost certainly because Pelosi will only endorse somebody who's been a member, who's been like an elected official for the Democrats for like 40 years, you know? I'm not even kidding. I genuinely think Pelosi will like exclusively pick from super insiders because she's so brain rotted by that. Yeah, legacy bullshit. Aristocracy. Did you see Joe Manchin is considering rejoining the Democrats to get to the convention nomination? I hope he goes just to be humiliated. Is it stupid AOC just endorsed Kamala without even trying to get a concession? No, that's not stupid. There's no time for concessions at all. We have 4 months, and what concessions could we even get? There shouldn't, like, any public beefing right now is bad. I just think it was stupid of AOC to go do that live stream. What's wrong with DSA? Too much teeth. What does Biden dropping out have to do with the coconut analogy? All right, folks, we're running it back one more time. One more time. There we go.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you lived and what came before you.
And she's right. And she's correct. She's so dumb. And that's a mute. Sorry, Benjamin. This is a coconut pill channel where vote blue no matter who, and we are aligned behind the next and very first female president of the United States. Black female president. Very woke. Everyone together now. He thinks he just fell out of a damn coconut tree. She's going to lose, Vosh? I think you mistyped. What you meant to say is, I'm about to lose my chatting privileges. You think I have time for your shit, man? You think your infantile baby brain 4 IQ pessimism can deter me? To you, life-consuming pessimism, depression that would keep you in a rut for weeks, is a blip on my mind. I contain you. I think she's going to lose. There's not a thought you've had that I haven't had and dismissed twice over. Kamala has over 50% of the endorsements from governors, senators, and House reps. It's gonna be her. Open convention or not, it's a foregone conclusion. Sorry if you addressed this already, but if she wins, does she get to certify her own votes in January 6th? Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't think there's any, yeah. Yeah, and now the holding up the votes like, those look nice. Of course, it also does mean that if Donald Trump wins, that they're going to, like, you know, laugh about that because she'll have to do it. They'll call that illegal. They'll say that's illegal. They'll be like, how can it be legal for a person to certify their own voter count, their own electoral vote count?